What's up, y'all? Danny here from Vanlife Northwest, coming at you with another beautiful 1992 Toyota HiAce Super Custom. This is a four-wheel drive model, 2.8 liter naturally aspirated diesel. That's the 3L model. Known to go the distance. Small suspension lift, about the largest all-terrain tire you can fit in there without having to start chopping. This van's had extensive maintenance update work, customizations, and repairs to make it fully road trip ready. That includes the full timing belt job, the full job, which is not just the belt, but the idler and tensioner pulleys that help guide the timing belt itself. Those bearings can get old and go out, which will cause the belt to either break or skip off, and then you're pretty much toasting your motor at that point. Also the water pump, which is also a very important component to keep your engine running properly. There's a few oil seals underneath that timing cover that also need to be replaced because leaking oil can degrade the belt itself and also cause a problem. Thermostat, of course, keeps your car's temperature regulated. While you're doing all that, you have to drain the coolant, and you might as well flush it, so we do that as well too. Main drive belts are also replaced. So those are the belts for the alternator, power steering pump, and air conditioner. Speaking of air conditioner, this van has working air conditioning, which is not fully common for these things. Usually they come, maybe 1 out of 4 have working air conditioning. This guy has working air conditioning, which is a big bonus. So also, obviously, we're going to change the motor oil and the oil filter. While we're doing that, we might as well do a transmission flush, which we did. Diesels need their fuel filter changed regularly, so the fuel filter was also changed. If we're changing fluids, we might as well hit the front and rear differential. That's gear oil, as well as the transfer case for the four-wheel drive. This van also had a brake fluid flush, so that's all fresh. The injection pump for the diesel motor had a slight leak, so we pulled the whole injection pump off and replaced the seals that were causing an issue. The injection pump itself is in very good shape considering this van only has 71,000 original miles. As mentioned before, it's got a lift about 1.5 inches and all-terrain tires. This van is badass. People come to me and ask me, oh, well, I'm thinking about getting this van, Delica, HiAce, Toyota, don't know. What do you advise? And anytime anybody comes to me with an open mind, I suggest the HiAce. There's a lot of reasons for that. One being, okay, so the HiAce was in production this generation until 2005. That means parts are going to be more readily available for longer. Next is the motor. This motor is called a 3L model, 2.8 liter naturally aspirated diesel. So naturally aspirated means that essentially it doesn't run off a turbo, which a lot of diesels do. So essentially, the motor is not being pushed by turbo beyond, on occasion, its mechanical limitations. So sometimes turbos can heat up and push a motor beyond what it is mechanically capable of, causing problems or causing excessive heat, which can cause problems. So this motor does not have a turbo. And also, this 3L 2.8 liter has a cast iron head and block. So having similar metals like that is helpful when the motor is heating up and cooling down. These metals expand and contract. They expand and contract at essentially the same rate. And that's important because between the head and the block is your head gasket. And it can cause it can cause premature compromising of your head gasket if your head's aluminum and your block is cast iron and they're heating up and contracting, especially if you get particularly hot. Now, it's not, I mean, a lot of cars have cast iron block and aluminum head, but I'm just saying it's more stable, in my opinion, to have both cast iron head. I don't know if I explained that very well, but essentially it's more stable because they heat up, they expand and contract at a similar rate. Let me take this out. But anyway, all these things go to make that motor, that 3L motor, pretty frickin' bulletproof. They're pretty hard to kill. You can, since you're on YouTube, you should YouTube Top Gear Toyota Hilux. They have a video on the Toyota Hilux for a Top Gear episode where they tried to kill the Toyota Hilux. So Toyota Hilux is essentially a Toyota pickup from this era, from the 90s. And it has the same motor, the 3L. And they dropped that thing off a building and flood it in the ocean, and that motor still runs. Same motor in this van. Essentially, it's known to go the distance. So there's the motor. There's the fact that parts are available for longer. There's also the fact that a lot of the drivetrain running gear is the same as some other domestically available rigs. It's all case-by-case basis, and because I've worked on these extensively, I take notes on everything I do. So that's another thing that buyers get from me, is my knowledge base. I don't just flip these things. I spend a lot of time on each one, making sure everything's just right before the sale. And I take notes on everything I do, so after you buy the van, I'm not just cutting you loose. We're going to be in contact. If you ever need any parts or have any questions or run into any issues, I'll be there to keep you on the road. I like talking about these vans. Anybody who has talked to me about them before knows that. I can go on and on about them. Anyway, long story short, this van is for sale. And it's in great shape. If you're interested in it, or if you have any more questions beyond what I've talked about in this video, definitely reach out. You find me at vanlifenorthwest.com, Instagram, Vanlife Northwest, also Toyota Vans. That's my second Instagram, or first or second, however you look at it. But anyway, great van. It's currently for sale. Shoot me a call. We'll chat about it. Autumn is here in Portland. That means Leafs and Long Johns for me. Anyway, hope you guys are doing good. Take care. Bye.